All right, what's going on? Happy Monday. We're gonna pour some concrete about 20, I don't know, 25, 26 stories in the air. Way up to about there. We're gonna pour some vertical today on the tower here with the high pressure pump at the bottom, all the way through the piping up the building and out the end of the boom. Sounds easy, right? Of course it is. And it is an exceptionally hot day today, another hot summer Vancouver day. So I brought Sid some heat relief. Portable air conditioning, AJ spec. You fire it up. Oh, it's nice and cool. And then when you want a little mist, a better angle here so you can see this. Ah, that is refreshing. Could be the best $8.99 Canadian ever spent. I feel like we overpaid a little or a lot. Probably see these at the dollar store tomorrow for $1.50. But anyhow, Sid will be appreciative of this. We're gonna shuttle this up top to him. Very important. Stay tuned. You know what I didn't realize? Mike is actually here pouring today too with a 56 meter. And that pump, the air conditioning's been broken for like 2 years and the heat is actually stuck on. I'm gonna take this over to him. I think he needs this more. Change of plan. I brought you something. I know your air conditioning is broken. Look at this, look at this. You turn it on, and then you
need to test?
It actually works, man. It's nice. But yeah, his air conditioning's been broken for like 2 years. I'm not even joking. You can have this. Want to try it? Here, I'll give you a spray. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go.
No, it's actually nice, right?
It's turning me on. I don't know.
As ridiculous as it looks. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll leave it in the cab for you. I'm kind of half joking with this thing, but not even really. It is like so hot in the cab of this thing. So now we'll put that right there. There we go. Mike is all set. Quality of life just improved. Every time I suck back the 6-inch bullet, the loaf of bread sponge I call it, I get a whole bunch of slurry that falls back past it. And you pulled that just on its own. Really? And you've done it before?
Yeah.
And you checked the pipes and it's good?
Pulled the pipes last week.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Huh. Well, maybe I'll have to revisit that. Interesting. Okay, our work is done here. Mike likes the bullet sponge. He crushes it under the outrigger a few times to soften it up. Maybe that's the issue I had. I tried pulling one back. It was too hard. Rocketed back. A bunch of slurry dripped past it. So crush it under the outrigger, right? Okay. I'm gonna try that in a future video. I'll try that and we'll see how it works. But for now, we're gonna head on over that way. I brought you something, then I gave it to Mike because I saw him first.
What?
I got these spray bottles with a built-in electric fan. It's a mister. It's the most amazing thing ever. But the 56 has had broken AC for 2 years, so I gave it to him.
Yeah.
I'll get you one too, though.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I need one.
Oh, you know, it looks completely stupid. If you try it, you'll understand. Oh, there he is. So what's going on here? What do you got? 5-inch elbow?
5-inch elbow. Heavy duty clamp.
Nice. And you have to pull this elbow off to clear, right?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks, eh?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if there were a short extension pipe and you didn't have to pull that off. I guess it's not the end of the world, though.
It's easy. Like at first it was hard. Now you just
Yeah, you get used to it.
rebar in it and just one shot.
Yeah, so you swing the gate open, off to the side.
The extra thing I did today is like this strap for this lid.
Ah, keep the
on
lid.
Saturday.
Oh, vibrated open. But yeah, nice 150 bar clamps. So next down to a 5-inch outlet on this one. So you don't need a 6 to 5 reducer. Apparently that's better for high-rise pumping. I don't know. Debatable. Couple little elbows, diversion valve. And when they're all done, they switch the valve over and blow right back into the bucket here. Now this is only the 2-way valve, so I gotta find out. Hey Jag, what do you do on this one then to clean out these pipes? When you switch the diversion valve over, do you suck a sponge back from up top?
Yes.
Yes. And then this is all clean.
I asked him to reverse, and then I add like 3 buckets of water in it.
Yeah.
And on reverse.
And you don't need to use air. The pump will pull it all the way with vacuum.
Then, no. And then I put a sponge in.
Yeah.
And then I give like air for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then bleed it.
Oh, just to get it
Off.
moving. Okay. Okay. So air at the start to get it moving, and then it brings it the rest
Otherwise,
of the way.
we are like, the other guy down here is like, why it's not moving? Why it's
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that valve, the other ones we have are the three-way valve. And you can, when you switch it over, it's got a second opening, and you can actually put a sponge in and just suck it right back that way. But this one doesn't. It's only what they call a two-way valve. So once this switches over, it bleeds that way. You switch it back, and to clean it out, you've either got to pull a pipe off and suck the sponge from here, or do it from all the way up top, which works too. What do you got here? Oh yeah, the hydraulic power pack. This is so that we don't need to rely on the hydraulics on the pump, even though they work just fine. But if you ever get a machine in here that doesn't have the provisions, then it's handy to have this thing here. So that switches the S valve over to this side, and now all your concrete can flow back into the bin for blowout. And then when we pump, we switch it right back over, just like so. I've heard stories of guys going to prime the pump and forgetting the valve is switched the wrong way and just hammering right into the plate. Not our guys, not ever in history, not ever, I swear. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's one of those things though, if you ever lose power to that and you can't switch the valve over, major problems. That's why it's nice to have this, as well as we do have the ports on this pump for a backup. But our other pumps that we bring in here, a couple of them, they do not have the hydraulic diversion valve ports, so we rely on that. I've seen some of the valves, I'm not sure what brand it is, they actually have like a bottle jack hand pump. So if you lose your hydraulic power, manually you can at least still switch the valve over in an emergency, which is a really darn good idea. So yeah, pipe just runs along the slab. All the way around yonder and then into a thrust block and straight up. So this one, because the boom overhangs the hopper so much, you got to lift it up quite high to get the mixers back at the pump. Not a big deal. Just want to make sure you get your outriggers out and down at least part ways. So but yeah, just one more point of note here with the diversion valve. That's why we always test it before we put concrete in the system, because to find out that it's not going to switch over once you got all those pipes full, 30 plus stories of concrete, or 25 plus in today's case, and you can't change that valve over, well now you're now it's panic mode, right? So always check the operation of the diversion valve before putting concrete through the pipeline. What happened to your mud flat, man? Do we know who did that? These mud flaps suck, they always get torn off.
Especially when you turn it back at the drop sites.
Yeah, they're too close to the tire. At least with the adjustable fenders, you can slide the fender back and it doesn't get caught. Shitty deal.
I was thinking the other day, how do you do low rise, like a low level opening?
With the hooks? You get your broom handle and you push them open, hurl 32 meters like that. No, they can come off. They come off easily, we just haven't done it. They're basically there for when you're doing placing boom, when you're flying the boom, and when it's sitting up on the building so it doesn't sag. But yeah, it would be, I think this thing's gonna come off the truck in a couple months anyhow, but otherwise, yeah, you wanna pull the hooks off. You like this pump?
What part of the city?
Downtown. You like this pump?
Oh yeah.
Why? Don't tell me it's because of the remote. The icons, what do they even mean? Does anything actually even look like what it's... I don't even want to push buttons here, I'm afraid.
Only the grease icon, I think, looks like.
Yeah, how do you even go through the screen on this thing? I don't even know.
So you go back here, home, and
oh, home. That's a house.
yeah, and this is water.
Yeah.
This is out auger.
Well, the water looks like water at least.
This is water.
Yeah.
And this is agitator.
Okay, that looks like an
in the
agitator.
reverse right now. So forward.
Oh yeah.
And then this is grease icon for hopper.
Okay, well that looks like grease.
Okay. And then
What about all the ones that actually don't look like anything that they're supposed to, or that they correlate to?
so
I guess they kind of do.
yeah. So this is boom.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
boom
figured
looks
that
like-
one out.
So this looks like boom, and then this is like, you know, speed, snail, rabbit mode.
Yeah.
And then manually adjusting it. Like this is manual adjuster for different sections. right?
It's so annoying though that the rabbit snail is on the screen. You know, the new one on the Ergo 3, rabbit snail is just one button. Rabbit snail.
Yeah, it's
And
complicated.
pump on off is back to being a toggle switch. And I think vibrator, well, this one is a switch for vibrator
Yes,
too. But yeah, the Ergo,
S-tune.
the new one, the Ergo 3 is like light years ahead of this, even though it kind of goes back to the old school, if that makes sense. But in terms of operator friendliness, it's light years ahead. It's got some useful stuff on it. I just don't like the Ergo
And
2.
this is the total meter cube, how much we pumped till date.
Do you know that my new 28 meter is going to have Ergo 3 on it?
When are you buying it?
Well, probably never, but every night I dream about it. But if I ever got it, it would have Ergo 3 on my new 28Z.
Yeah, and this placing boom setting here, this is for long line pumping.
Oh yeah.
See this is a high rise pumping, this one.
Yeah, so that's your POH setting.
Yeah.
For each end.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the one that takes all the surge out when you're doing high rise.
And then, and then you can, while you're pumping, you can clearly see that when you touch this pipe down here.
Yeah.
So when you're pushing, stroke changes.
Yeah.
Pushing, it takes a little bit power back.
So you like this remote though?
Yeah, I like that.
Really? Yeah, I just haven't ever
I
got to
spent some
learn
time on it.
You did. You watched the hour and 40 minute Alan Woods Putzmiester video?
Yeah, hour and 40
That's longer than the Canadian concrete pumper video. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
I could watch Alan and Woods for 3 hours.
The video.
Probably the most knowledgeable guy in pumping, or at least one of them. Legend.
One of the best videos.
All right, so what makes this thing a high-rise pump? Well, what differentiates it from a normal boom pump is the pump kit, obviously. Massive drive cylinders. The tie rods that hold the pump kit to the water box, or the hopper to the water box, I should say, are huge. That's them right there. The shift cylinders, significantly larger. The hopper is heavy steel, highly reinforced. Better look at those tie rods. Compare those to a standard boom pump. Those are probably almost double the diameter. Heavy stuff. The only poopy thing with this is once it's switched over to the high pressure side, some more than 85 bar, because the boom pipe is only rated for 85 bar. So once it's switched over and it's producing 130 bar, 135, you can no longer use the boom. And to switch it back and forth is a matter of switching the lines around. Takes a couple hours, makes a bit of a mess. There is an electronic pressure limiter for dialing the pressure down, but we've been told it's not suitable to rely on that for limiting pressure when pumping through the boom pipe, is what we've been told. So once she's switched over to high pressure, she's basically not able to do any other regular work. Usually when it is switched over to high pressure, the boom is off of it on a building anyhow, so it doesn't matter. But in this case, they've got their own boom here. So what I'm hoping is, what would be really ideal, that swing pump I showed in a previous video, that swing trailer pump, when it's done on its current job, if it could come over here and finish this project out, we didn't have to switch this pump over to high pressure, and we could keep this for running around doing our regular work and our sub 30 story placing boom stuff, would really be perfect if the timing worked out. Yeah, it would be great to get that little Schwing SP 4800 trailer pump onto this site. Way more efficient on fuel. We can run off-road red dyed fuel in it too, legally. Nice, simple, basic. I think it would just make things a lot less stressful and more efficient. Yeah, this is the old T300 Omnex. I thought they had the T42, the big black one.
Oh no, that one is on. They have one more placing movements on that.
It's actually really heavy for the size. You know there's guys that like these? I don't know.
I'd never go back to a 3-stick.
Well, for one 3-stick, and the sticks are so small. And it's, what is it, C-cell batteries?
Oh yeah.
But I've heard they last for like weeks or months.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is heavy, man. This is heavier than that Arcom remote, even though it's like half the size.
It's
100% heavier. Not that the Arcom is heavy, just more of a testament to how heavy this is for the size. It's very dense. I guess because you got all those batteries in there. I don't know, man. There's guys that Dan from G-Form, Dan loved this remote. Loved and loves. I think it's a big old hunk of crap, but take it away.
I was the one who installed the batteries in this one, I think, when we were there. This placing room was.
Oh, really? So you put those batteries in, and this is like a year later?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard they last a long time.
And
Well,
then
we found one good thing about it.
I have the backup as well, but now right now it's in my truck.
Oh.
At least
But the sticks are nice and, like, the tension is good. They're nice and heavy. It's the second stage. I mean, it could be nice for, you can almost run this with one hand, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's not terrible. I just think during the cold winter months here when your hands are frozen, these sticks could be a little cumbersome. Anybody who's run one of these or runs one of these and has run other remotes, let me know what you think. What's your feedback? Maybe I could get used to it. Yeah. Jury's still out on this one. Just like that, concrete is here. Or the grout is here, I should say. Your calibration was off of your hand closing. We'll load this thing up with water and then take a couple strokes in forward to flush a bit of water into the system, and then keep it about 2 or 3 inches up the barrels. Then when the grout comes in, it pushes that water in, and you got some nice wet stuff, even wetter than the grout, ahead of the grout. It's a beautiful thing. That's another good point. Sid's gonna wait for Jag to get up top at the end of the hose, then do the strokes in forward with the water, and then he can feel the air at the end of the hose, and then we know nobody's left a sponge in the boom, ideally. Perfect. Just admiring all the grease coming out of the seals on the small bearing, the large bearing, auger shafts. Literally a well-oiled machine.
Hey, Jag, let me know what you got.
Good job, Jag.
Radio tracker, I'm doing a couple strokes forward on your test pump.
Looks a little dry. Yeah, it's dry. It's dry. Drink her up. Yeah, I want her a little wetter than that. Which is nice, we got all that water in there, so by the time that dry stuff mixes with the water, it's not going to cause us any problems. It's kind of why I like the water in there. It's sort of a an insurance policy, if you will. Round 2, here we go. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Real sloppy. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Look at that chemical sheen. You can tell the high chemical mix has got that shine. Almost kind of like the diesel. The whole time they're pushing this through here, they're watching the pressure gauge. This one has pressure gauge on the remote as well as on the pump. I don't know how many strokes to get to the top here, but I'm going to say probably about another 10 to 15 more. Let's go look at what our gauge is doing. See, once the grout is through and we get into the actual concrete, that gauge will stop fluttering around so much when it strokes over. They got that through about 5 or 6 strokes ago, so it is through now. He's got to purge off the grout. Probably another 5 or 6 strokes. You can see now that we purged all that grout from the lines, how much steadier that hydraulic pressure gauge is. Most of the flutter is gone. 60 MPa? Wow. Look at the chemical. Woo. Got 60 MPa. The funny thing with this stuff is anything 30, 32 or higher, 35 or higher, there's no reclaim water. It's all fresh water. So sometimes the higher strength concrete actually sets slower than the 25 and 28 MPa that they throw all the recycled water into. And when this stuff does tighten it up, it just becomes really kind of mushy and gummy before it ever really gets hard and chalky, like a lower cement ratio mix. Definitely interesting stuff. I'm gonna walk all the way up there today. I'm not gonna be a lazy bum and wait for the man lift. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna huff it. Unless I get around the corner here and the man lift is sitting here waiting for me. Yeah, big old thrust block. That's probably about 1.5 meters of concrete, maybe 2. Maybe 2.5. And it's all straight up from here. Absorbs all the shock, vertical shock as well as horizontal from that pipeline as it's pumping and shifting and stroking and surging in the line. All right, we're doing it. We're gonna walk up. All right, the journey begins here, level 1. I'll check in every 10 floors. All right, here we go. Level 10, huffing and puffing. Already slightly regretting my decision, but we will push on. All right, approaching level 20. I'm using the handrail. This is akin to like an MMA fighter when they spit out the mouthpiece when they're gassed. Kind of the same thing, but not. I'm using the handrail for assistance. We're getting close. Pretty close to the end of the line here. So I guess we're about level 24, 25. Final destination. There it is. All right, we made it. Here we are. Jag's not gonna believe me when I tell him that I walked all the way up. I wouldn't believe me. 44 years old. There they are. You ever do that?
on Friday, the tip was after thinking.
Oh, it's getting too soft, so you just shorten it down. Yeah, it's a little short now, hey? Yeah. You ever walk up from the bottom like that, all the way?
On Pender Street many times.
But here?
No.
I did it.
That's why I see that.
You see that? Yeah.
See the waist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is a Alliance 38 meter boom, and this is the split boom. Tough to see from here. Get over this way, you can see right there about 10 feet into that first section. there's pins that come out, and you can disassemble it, break it down into 2 separate lifts. So you've got a lighter picking weight if your crane can't quite handle it, or you got to take it out to a far reach. Yeah, this is a handy system. We've worked with this one on shoot, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 projects now. They work quite well. Oh, look at this fancy guy. Wow. You know, if you just had 2 joysticks like a proper remote, you wouldn't have to be so fancy. Yeah, this is the project. I got a video from, shoot, almost exactly a year ago. It was the 1500 meter raft slab was actually the core footing for this tower. And there's some previous videos from these 2 towers. We had a placing boom in for the parkade area here. It's a huge parkade. There's a lot of concrete in this project. But look at the view. Look at the view. If it wasn't so overcast in the distance, you could probably see Mount Baker from here. I think downtown Vancouver is that way. Yeah, I'll see if we can get over there. Maybe Dan will chime in the comments here. On Dan's placing boom setup, it's plumbed for an air cuff. So he has a little compressor he keeps on the pedestal area, and then the air line that runs down the boom, the supply line, and he's actually able to run the cuff on the hose. That would be really handy for pouring this vertical. You're not wrestling that hose over all day long. There we go.
I didn't get folded. Okay.
Yeah, a little tough to get that hose in through the rebar cage there, as you can see.
Nice and slow, Papa.
There we go. That's what you want. Drape it right in through the cage like that. Okay, buddy, I've seen enough from up here on board. I'm going back down.
How do you like it?
How do I like it?
How do you like it?
It looks like a placing boom on a tower pouring vertical. I appreciate it. Do I like it? Do I like it? I think it's great work for you. That's what I think. Yeah. I enjoy my time a little bit better down on the business end of things, down at the pump. So we'll just leave it at that. Saying about the finish on the walls. No sacking, no parging, nothing. They don't even have to vibrate this stuff. Beautiful. All right, back to ground level. Arguably, that'll be the one I feel more so tomorrow than the hike up. It'll be the hike down. These old dogs ain't where they used to be. That's for sure. As Jag was mentioning there earlier, on this pump it has separate settings for the pushover hydraulics. What pushover hydraulics is when your S valve switches over and the piston rams change direction for a moment, a split second, it will revert to full volume and it gets rid of the lag in the pipeline. And by playing around with how long it sticks at that full volume or the timing of that full volume event, you can either increase or reduce the surge in the pipeline based on what you're doing. So this pump has a placing boom setting for the pushover hydraulic and the changeover. And from what the guys are saying, it takes so much snap out of the pipeline, especially up top on the boom end of things, it calms the boom right down. So it is a very interesting feature. As much as I at times do complain about a lot of the new electronic doodads, this one actually is quite effective and worthwhile. So it ain't all just overly engineered, complicated, head scratching stuff for us older generation. Some of it, a lot of it actually is good. We just need to adapt. I don't know. The older I get, the more resistant I am to adaptation. But you'll see when they go to blow out here, they'll throw a cover over top of this and poof, right back into the box there. So probably about 2.5 meters of waste concrete in the pipeline, whoosh, right in there. It's a really cool video, Meals concrete pumping. I'll try and post a link to it below, out of Australia. And what they actually do is they wash the pump out, fill it with water, and use water to push the concrete all the way out. As soon as the last bit of concrete is out and the water comes through, they dump the water, switch it over, and all the water flushes back. So they effectively end up with zero waste concrete. It's a really cool but elaborate system, but I could definitely see the benefits of that. If you want to look it up, Meals concrete pumping, spelled M-E-A-L-E-S. I think type in Meals concrete pumping high-rise washout, I think is what'll bring up that'll give you the best search result anyhow. Sweet. I'll leave it off with 39 Putzmiester HPD pump kit. That's the high pressure pump kit. For a regular guy who's maybe not going to do a whole lot or any high-rise pumping, it's definitely got its compromises. There's more hopper overhang because the pump kit, the subframe is stretched back. Heavier hopper, a little more prone to build up, a little bit trickier to wash out, especially trying to get the S-tube clean. It's heavier. There are definitely a few things, a few trade-offs with it. But if you are going to do high-rise work, or especially if you're like a forming contractor, and pick up one of these and the mast system, the RS850 mast system to go with it, you can't go wrong. You will keep this thing busy. When it's not on a high-rise, you can run around and do other work with it too. Is it the best at doing other work? It's still effective, but I would say it's just slightly less convenient than just a regular non-detachable 16 cell regular old pump kit 39Z. We've been really happy with this one for what we've used it for, but definitely if I was going to run around all day doing resi work, our 38 meter 5 section runs circles around this thing on the day-to-day for stuff like that, but can't hold a candle to it obviously for this kind of stuff. So anyhow, you know it goes. Like, share, subscribe, ×3. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment. Over and out.